Welcome back, sports fans. We are officially in the dark time of sports, that time where hockey's ended, where basketball's ended, football's still 2 months away, baseball's not absolutely ridiculous yet. UFC is trying all it can do to carry us through the dark times. And this event this past weekend, I'm not gonna lie, was absolutely amazing, except for all my Charles Oliveira fans, including myself. Watching him get absolutely mauled on that canvas was gut-wrenching. You know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. If you are an OG here, top OG down in the comments. If you're new here, let me know your favorite team down in the comments. This is how we do it. We're going NFL, NBA, UFC, starting with our early award winners in the NFL. This list, it's going to get interesting. I had to sit here and think for a while, especially between MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. How many times has the MVP, obviously a quarterback, transitioned to Offensive Player of the Year? Because I really wanted, we'll say our MVP first because we kind of did this last week. Joseph Dwayne Burrow the third. I did have it, Jaden Daniels, and y'all know I'm big on not putting a rookie/sophomore quarterback in my top 10 quarterbacks just because the sophomore slump is real. The NFL goes out there, they finally get all the information they need on you. They can game plan for you over a whole offseason. They can game plan better for you the week of. So will Jaden Daniels have a sophomore slump? I don't think it'll be as crazy as other people in the past just because he's a very he's just an amazing athlete. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. He's very unpredictable, might I say. But Joe Burrow, one of the best wide receiver cores in the game, one of the best quarterbacks in the game. I think he's going to go out there. I think Joe Burrow would have won MVP last year had they won one more game and made playoffs. I think that is everything it hinged on. I don't think it should have mattered. The defense was just so bad. There was no way they were going to make playoffs. I really don't know if there's a way they make playoffs this year. They're going to have to do better than last year. And last year they had Joe Burrow and the Triple Crown Jamar Chase, right? It's going to be hard to replicate that. I think they can go out there and do it. I have Joe Shiesty as my MVP. On to our Offensive Player of the Year. I wanted to do Joe Burrow and I wanted to do Jamar Chase again, but I was like, there's just no way 2 years in a row, right? There is a way. I just don't think it's going to happen. Is this hair? Like, that is bothering me. I think Jamar Chase is going to go out there and be great. Do I think he's going to be a Triple Crown winner again? Only time will tell. But my Offensive Player of the Year is a guy I think going into this year, he's going to get more snaps than he's got in the past few years. I think he looked absolutely dominant when his running mate went down towards the end of last year. And I think he just took over and showed that he is one of the best X factors in this game currently. I am talking about, for my Offensive Player of the Year, running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. What I saw, he looked unstoppable. When Jahmyr Gibbs touched that rock, at any moment, he could go to the crib. He could have a gain of 10. He could have a gain of 20. He fights through contact. This is one of the best running backs in the league. I think he's going to go out here this year. I think he's going to have a little bit higher of a snap count. I think they're going to run back Robinson a little bit. I think he's going to get a few less snaps. I think he's going to get a lot more red zone snaps, but I think Gibbs is going to get it in the end zone before they have to even worry about that. I think Gibbs is going to have, and saying a breakout year is crazy for how absolutely amazing he's looked, but that is my Offensive Player of the Year. On to Defensive Player of the Year. I sat here and I thought about this one for a long time, right? Because it kind of gets passed around by the same guys over and over again. You got TJ Watt, who might not even be on the Steelers next year. We could get into that. TJ Watt. You have oh my gosh, you have Miles Garrett. I almost said Miles Turner. You have Miles Garrett. Just passed around the same guys over and over again. Micah Parsons always in the conversation. A guy that I don't think gets enough love. High motor, absolute dog. You see him get double, triple teamed all the time. Defense kind of coming together. Offense kind of coming together. If the team can get a spark, I can see this man going out there and putting on an absolute clinic. And I want to say my Defensive Player of the Year running up was Nick Bonetto. Hope I said that right. Probably didn't. I just didn't feel like the Broncos were, they won it last year, right? I didn't feel like they were going to win it 2 years in a row. Give me fan favorite, dog, tatted, Mad Max Crosby, round of applause. I think Max Crosby is going to go out there and show y'all why he is one of the most dominant, unspoken about ends in the game. And when I say fan favorite, I've never met anyone that doesn't like Max Crosby. His attitude, his energy, his pacing, absolute dog on the field. I just think he doesn't get the respect he deserves because the team he's on. And I think the team he's on, you got a new head coach in Pete Carroll, Super Bowl winner. Geno Smith, is he going to take you to the Super Bowl? Probably not. Is he a great bridge quarterback? Absolutely. Ashton Genty. Offense going to keep the defense off the field a little bit more, letting them keep the energy going, letting Max Crosby go out there and wreak absolute havoc. Go out there and go off, ladies and gentlemen. And I think he finally has a defense around him that's going to take a little bit of pressure off him. The D-line's getting better. It's healthy now. You got some safeties. You got some corners back there. You got a lot of potential in this Raiders team moving forward this season. Our offensive rookie of the year. This is a pretty big layup. I think we all know who I'm going to pick here. I'm going Cam Ward, starting from day one. Going to help it a lot. I really don't see anyone challenging this unless Travis Hunter just has a ridiculous season. If you're battling a quarterback from day one for an award, you're not winning it. I think Cam Ward's going to go out there. He looks like one of the most mature quarterbacks we have seen coming in the draft lately. I think he's ready to go out there, put in work. Is the wide receiver room awful? I wouldn't say awful. That's really harsh. I wouldn't say it's awful. I'd say it's young. I'd say it's developing. Your wide receiver one is a guy who's had trouble in the past, hasn't really been able to get it going. I think there's a lot of potential here for Cam Ward. I don't think they're going to have a great record this year, but I think he's going to have great numbers for a rookie quarterback this year compared to, the last two rookie quarterbacks have kind of, blessed us, talking about CJ Stroud and Jaden Daniels. But do I think Cam Ward will have a year like that? No. Do I think he has potential to be as good as them? Absolutely. I think the team around him is going to hold him back more than he's going to hold them back, if you know what I mean. Next, our defensive rookie of the year. I'm going with the guy who is on a team that needed pass rush so desperately last year. A team I had winning 11 games. I think they went like 5 games without getting a sack, pressuring the quarterback. It was a stint that was absolutely sickening. Give me James Pierce Jr. sending the Falcons some much needed help they just deserve at this point. They got to go out there. They got to get something going. They went and got 2 pass rushers. I think you're going to do amazing things for this team. James Pierce Jr., my defensive rookie of the year. And last but not least, my comeback player of the year. Now I'm going to tell you my runner-up and why he's not going to win it. And then I'm going to tell you my runner. Obviously, as always, we're going to have Damar Hamlin for the 5th year in the comeback player of the year listing. We'll see if he can win that. My runner-up, Dak Prescott. I think that he's going to, obviously, I've told y'all over and over again, if you're battling a quarterback from day one for an award like this, you're not going to win it. But the reason I have this guy winning it is the extent of his injury compared to Dak Prescott's injury. I'm sure y'all can already assume who I'm talking about. My comeback player of the year is Aiden Hutchinson, coming off a gruesome leg injury against the Dallas Cowboys. It was unsettling. It was upsetting. They lose their best pass rusher. He's ready to get back out there. One of the most dominant in the game. On a terrible D-line. You don't see that often. You're special when you have a bad D-line and you can be out there dominating like he was. You love to see it. I think Aiden Hutchinson, just because the extent of his injury, what it was, and if he comes back and dominates, I think they're going to give it to him over Dak Prescott, just because Dak's injury was kind of, a little nitpicky injury. So I think it's going to be Aiden Hutchinson. On to the next topic, Steelers fans. Let's talk some Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, who have made some absolute amazing moves today. I don't know. This team is it's in limbo right now. You're getting older. I've never seen a team want to get older. I really don't think you have I don't think you have a Super Bowl caliber team and you're trading for older guys to put around Aaron Rodgers, who I think still got some gas in the tank. I think this last year is going to be good. I think he wants his retirement tour. I hope he goes out there, puts it together. He looked good on the Jets last year. The Jets just didn't get the outcomes they wanted at the end of games. They didn't get the outcomes they wanted on the season. And I think it was just the Jets. Just going to throw that out there. The team, they're putting around Aaron Rodgers. They just traded for cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith coming off. They had an injury. What tight end they have that got in? They still have Pat Fryermuth over there, I believe. If I'm wrong or anything's happened since then, let me know down in the comments. They did have a tight end, I think, tear his Achilles or ACL. Was it Washington? I can't remember. That being said, Jonnu Smith, which was one of the most pivotal parts of the Dolphins offense last year, probably one of the best pass catchers, is now officially a Steeler. Jalen Ramsey, a guy you can put back there at safety, a guy you can put back there, you can put in the linebacker position when you need to, a guy you can put in the slot, a guy you can put on the outside corner, a solid defensive piece after losing Minkah Fitzpatrick, obviously, in the trade, who last year there was a lot of discourse in the locker room between the Steelers and their defense, talking about there's some people here just not doing their job. A lot of speculated it was Minkah Fitzpatrick. This pretty much concludes, yeah, it was Minkah Fitzpatrick. What is happening with TJ Watt, Steelers fans? Y'all would be ridiculous to not give him a blank check and say, just sign it. Just sign it. You know, you just write whatever number you want, sign it, and we'll cash it. Who are you paying? DK? Are you paying? You're about to have a rookie quarterback, so you got 4 years to pay whoever you want to pay. Because I think why Aaron Rodgers is here is to mold Will Is his name Will Campbell? No, Will Campbell's the O tackle. What's his name? Oh, the guy from Ohio State. I can't remember it off top. Bad sports podcast guy. Anyways, he's there to mold the young rookie quarterback. I think he's going to do that. I think this team is going to be okay in the future. You just have a lot of older pieces. I think the wide receiver room is a little questionable this year for Aaron Rodgers. You got Aaron, you got DK Metcalf, big boomer bust guy. I think he's going to have a great season. He's back to being just the number one target and really everything else around him. Roman Wilson, your wide receiver too, potentially Calvin Austin. Robert Woods is over there, if I'm not wrong. That wide receiver room makes me want to throw up in something around me. I don't know. That's a sickening wide receiver room. The running game, we'll see. He lost a big running back in free agency, so I don't know. I think this team is going to do what they do best every year, is have a winning record, potentially get bounced in the wild card, but you never know. If Aaron Rodgers can get to that wild card round, anything can be made possible. On to our all-rookie team in the NFL, starting with quarterback's a little easy. I mean, you're not going to win, offensive rookie of the year and not be our number one quarterback on our list. We'll give you a little breakdown. Our all-rookie team this is our prediction for our number one rookie at every position. Let's reword this. This is our all-rookie NFL team. This is our all-rookie NFL team, who we think will be the number one player at every position at the end of the year for all the rookies. Of course, quarterback, easy to assume. Our offensive rookie of the year, Cam Ward on the Titans. Again, the team, it's okay. It's the wide receiver room, very young, a lot of potential. Just don't have that number one guy that I think is going to take over. I think Cam Ward's going to have a lot of work to do on this team. They do have a good run game, so that could help a lot. Not a lot of quarterbacks go into a position with a good run game. So at number 2, at running back for the Las Vegas Raiders, Ashton Jeanty. I don't think there's any other running back that's going to rival him for this. I think Jeanty's going to get a lot of snaps this year. I think he's going to be a pivotal part of this offense. I think he's going to kind of get, I'm not going to say Marshawn Lynch vibes. I think he's got potential Marshawn Lynch vibes. Just the way he gets yards after, I almost wanted to say yards after catch. Yards after contact. Ashton Jeanty has a lot of potential. You got Pete Carroll there. I think there is a lot of upside for running back Ashton Jeanty, and I think he's going to run away with our running back of the year with all the rookies. At wide receiver, this one, was a little hard. You got a lot of wide receivers. The wide receiver ones that you think would be on here, like Tech McMillan, Travis Hunter. Tech really went to a bad situation. Not a bad situation. I think Bryce Young is a great quarterback. I think he's going to do a lot better this year. I don't think Tech McMillan is going to be in a position to be our number one wide receiver. I think there's going to be a lot of love spread around on that team. Another guy we had runner up, Travis Hunter. Y'all probably kill me in the comments for this one. I don't think Travis Hunter is going to be the best wide receiver this year amongst all the rookies, just because he's going to play two ways. There's going to be a lot of wear and tear, a lot of potential for injury. Lord, hope that doesn't happen. I'm not wishing that on him. I just have a feeling it could potentially happen. He could play less snaps on offense just because he is attempting to play two ways. Trevor Lawrence, is he going to stay healthy? That's a big question. My wide receiver one for the rookies going in ending 2025 season will be Jaden Higgins, wide receiver, Houston Texans, 6'4", ladies and gentlemen, in a wide receiver room that's really not that great. You got one amazing guy over there in Nico Collins. Other than that, you lost Diggs. Tank Dell's out for the year. I think there's a lot of potential for 6'4" Jaden Higgins to go out here and absolute show what he can do. I think he's going to be great for this team, and I think he's going to be a high percentage target for CJ Stroud. At tight end, this one's easy. You either go Tyler Warren or you go Colston Loveland. I'm going Tyler Warren. I think he's going to have the more opportunity just because the Bears have commit. They have a lot of options to throw to on that offense. I think Tyler Warren is going to be and especially, gosh, it really matters who they roll out there for this tight end pick, because if they roll out Anthony Richardson, I think this could give him a good short yardage target compared to how he bombs it downfield every play. I think Tyler Warren is going to make the more immediate impact. I think he's going to get the more snaps, the more share percentage. I think he's going to go out there and ball out. He's going to be the best tight end for all the rookies this year. At O tackle, obviously, Will Campbell. The way this man talks about protecting his quarterback makes me want to run through this wall over here. It makes me want to run through this wall over here, ladies and gentlemen. This man could motivate. He said something that had me absolutely shook. What was it? In college, he was talking about, the difference between offensive tackle and defensive end is offensive tackle, you allow 13 sacks, you're going to be selling insurance. And defensive end, if you get 13 sacks, you're going to be the first pick in the NFL draft. And I mean, this man just motivated. I think he's going to go out there and be something amazing for the Patriots, potential generational. We will see. Next, our offensive guard, Tyler Booker of the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys just know how to hit on these O-linemen, ladies and gentlemen. When they take an O-lineman, you just have to absolutely assume he's the next guy up, the next big thing at the offensive line position. I think Tyler Booker is going to be great in this league. Offensive guard of the year for all the rookies. On to the defense. We have our defensive edge, Falcons. Again, our defensive rookie of the year, James Pence Jr. I think he's going to, James Pierce Jr. I spelt it, whichever one it is. I spelt it two different ways on two different sections. James Pierce Jr., again, a team that needed pass rush desperately, got a pass rusher. I think he's going to go out there and make an immediate impact. At D tackle, we have Mason Graham. And of course, I forgot to put what team he plays for next to his name. So y'all let me know down in the comments. What team does Mason Graham play for? Is it the Lot? Is it the Lions? Did I put the Lot? No. Is it the Cardinals? Might be the Cardinals. I don't know. Y'all let me know what team Mason Graham plays for down in the comments. At linebacker, we have Demetrius Knight Jr. A lot of these guys, first round picks, I'm not going to lie. Early second round picks. I think Demetrius Knight Jr., later second round pick, but why I picked him to be our number one linebacker, he's going to the Bengals. They have nobody on the defense. Absolutely no one. They're terrible. I think he's going to go out there. I think he's going to put on a clinic. I think he's going to get a lot of snap percentage. I think he's going to get a lot of snap share. And I think he's going to be our number one rookie linebacker. At cornerback, another Dallas Cowboys, Siobhan Ravel Jr. And he's got a lot of potential here. I think he's going to obviously start in the lineup day one. There's a lot of injuries that happen in that secondary, a lot of options, a lot of opportunity for Ravel to go out there and show what he's made of. At safety for my Seattle Seahawks, we have Nick, I'm going to pronounce this last name wrong, sorry in advance, Nick Amanawari. Day one impact, gonna go out there, gonna be amazing. This is our official all rookie NFL team. If you don't agree with any of these positions, let me know who you would swap in and swap out down in the comments. On to, sorry for yelling at y'all, the NBA. We got gambling in the NBA. We got Ace Bailey crying because he was drafted to the Jabs. What a bum. And we have the Mavs lineup and potential LeBron James rumors. Let's get into it. Malik Beasley, sir. So I saw the game they were talking about Malik Beasley gambling on, saying I guess he took his under on 2.5 rebounds and he ended up grabbing 6. So I'm really not sure how they're investigating him unless he put an absolute ridiculous amount of money on his under, knowing he would go over, knowing he would, I guess, get more minutes. I don't know. I don't know the extent of it. What I want to really talk about is the state of gambling, the state of sports betting in sports. It is easier to sports bet than it has ever been. You pick up your phone, you download one of 30 different apps, you pick over under, deposit money, boom, you're good. You're good to go. You don't have to go to, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, what's crazy about this is you can do this in states where gambling is illegal. I live in Texas. Obviously, casinos illegal, gambling illegal. You can download Underdog. You can download DraftKings. You can download these sports books because it's not considered betting. It's not considered gambling. I don't understand I'm not going to get into it because I don't understand it. You can do it here in Texas and it's very, very illegal. So, easy, click of a button. And you got guys out here now. Malik Beasley, I forgot the one of the porters that got going to potentially prison for sports gambling while in the NBA, getting sued, or however they're handling that. It's at the click of a button, and players are going to do it. We saw Draymond Green fined 50 bands, I think it was $50,000, something crazy, for talking about the spread of the game on the sideline. Players are aware of these numbers. They're aware of the spread. They're aware of their over-unders, and they can bet it at the click of a button. And the NBA is throwing it in our face, putting it out there. Hey, look at this. We have whole segments on ESPN. We have whole segments on these sports websites. We have whole segments. Bet this, bet this, bet this. That's all they talk about. Sports betting is talked about in every show in the sports industry. And you think these players aren't going to do it? They're already millionaires. Should they do it? No. But you think they're not going to do it? Do I think they should be able to do it? That's a thin line. Should they be able to do it? You can do it in boxing. It's legal in boxing. I think you just, I think in boxing you can bet on yourself to win. You can't bet yourself to lose. That would be ridiculous. You can bet on yourself to win the fight. It's legal. UFC, I'm not sure. But I mean, y'all put all of this time into promoting sports betting, promoting gambling, putting it at the click of a button, being in cahoots with these Vegas odds makers to the point where it's to a T, ladies and gentlemen. It's to a T. The over-under's hitting or missing by 1 or half. And you think the players aren't going to do it? You have these grown men have problems just like us. Gambling, addiction, it's addicting. It's an addiction. They have problems just like us, and you think they're not going to do it. That's just my thought. That's just my thought on sports betting. Let me know what y'all think about the state of sports betting down in the comments. We have Ace Bailey crying at the draft, ladies and gentlemen. Not quite literally crying, looking mad because he got drafted by the Jazz. He had one request going into the NBA draft: not to be drafted by the Jazz, not to be drafted by the Hornets. Why? Don't know the circling circumstances. Since when, as a prospect coming into a league that's going to pay you millions and millions of dollars, have we been able to say, you know what? I don't want to go to this team. And I get it, Kobe did it. I get it, Bo Jackson did it. I get it, there are guys that have done it. That doesn't make it right. You get drafted to what team you get drafted to, you suit up, and you go out there and you play ball. That's what you do. By the way, for millions and millions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, then you see guys like Ace Bailey up there absolutely mad. One, suit up and play basketball, brother. Two, you got guys like, oh my God, EJ Edgecombe or whatever his name. I don't know how to say it. He went to the 76ers talking about he had to live on a generator for 7 years. He watched his mom work day in and day out trying to feed his family, crying during the interview because he's like, I just made it. I can provide for my family now. There are levels to this, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be a dog in this league. There's a difference between guys that have had it all, that go out here and they hoop, and there's difference between guys that have had nothing and they're going out here to eat, provide for their family, show their family something they've never had before. There's levels to the. I hope when Ace Bailey gets to camp, I hope the Jazz are giving him hell. I hope they are playing switch on him. I hope everyone on the team is getting buckets. Because for Ace Bailey to think he's done anything to go out here and deserve to pick what, like, to be like, oh, no, I don't want you to draft me. Who are you? You weren't the first best guy in the draft. You weren't the second, third. Your attitude dropped you that far. You didn't want to work out for teams. Here you are. Your worst nightmare. You love to see it. You love to see it. I hate Ace Bailey at this point. I don't want to say hate. That's a harsh word. I hate his attitude. Potentially could get made into a good person. I hope he goes out there and does great things for the Jazz organization and realizes, hey, I'm here to play basketball. It could be extremely, extremely worse. Hope his time with the Jazz is great. We have the Mavs potential lineup looking absolutely ridiculous. It won't be complete until about midseason when Kyrie Irving comes back. You got Kyrie, you got Klay Thompson, you got Cooper Flagg, you have AD, and you have Derek Lively. Mavericks fans, your potential starting five is looking ridiculous on a year when it was gloomy. You trade away Luka the Don, who gave the Dallas community hope. After, Dirk was getting older, the end of Dirk's run was coming to an end. You have this young guy come in, Lithuania, I think? This young guy come in. What are we going to do? Luka the Don is what we're going to do. Turns into an absolute dog. He loved the city as much as they loved him. And then out of nowhere, at midnight one night, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here playing Call of Duty, look at my phone, midnight. Guys, Luka just got traded. Actually, I don't even think I said it at first. I think this was the conversation. I was like, guys, was it Shams at the time? I was like, I think Shams got hacked. I look at it. They're talking about Luka just got traded. I don't believe that. To the Lakers. My Lakers, by the way. My LeBron-led Lakers. I'm like, Luka just got traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. Shams got hacked. A few minutes later, Twitter is exploding. Ladies and gentlemen, Twitter is exploding. I'm over here and then Shams tweets, this is real. The LeBron-Luka era begins and Dallas Mavericks fans are left with a hole, a void, unfillable. In their heart, they felt betrayed. Nico Harrison is public enemy number one in Dallas for months and months to come. Then out of nowhere, we have the NBA draft lottery. The Dallas Mavericks didn't make playoffs, so they're in the lottery, have a I believe 1.25% chance at the number 1 pick, and they win it. They win it, ladies and gentlemen. 1 game away from playoffs, and now they're picking number 1 in the draft. And who is in the draft, you ask? A generational talent. 18 years old. Spoken of with the names LeBron, Zion, who, however you twist it, is a generational talent plagued by injuries. Spoken with the names of the best guys to come out of college, high school, 18 years old, years to come, played with the trained with the Olympic team, grown men, Cooper Flag, and just like that, the Dallas Mavericks are in the good graces again. You're getting a generational talent that is going to come in and hoop. Day 1, ladies and gentlemen, you went from voided heart from losing Luka to having one of the best potential players of all time in Cooper Flag. Plays both sides of the ball, offensive sound, defensive sound. Is he going to come in and make an immediate impact? But that's not it. That's not it. As of this week, everyone knows you had to opt in on the 29th of the NBA on your contract. LeBron opts in, but then the rumors start swirling. Ladies and gentlemen, the rumors start speculating. LeBron is watching the Lakers closely. He wants to compete for a championship, and he's going to watch what they do the coming weeks in free agency. And his number 1 place of trade would be the Dallas Mavericks. Mavs fans, y'all are weird and hate LeBron for some reason. Don't know why. The best player ever. Some of y'all would be like, we don't want LeBron on. You don't want to win a ring? Huh? You don't want to win a ring? You don't want one of those? You haven't had one since 2011. LeBron's had a few rings since 2011, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to throw that out there. He's had a few of them. LeBron on the Mavs would be amazing. Your starting lineup would be ridiculous. You could roll his playing time back. Would LeBron come off the bench now that I think about it? That would be interesting. That'd be interesting to watch if LeBron would come off the bench. I've said for years, if LeBron would take a moment, take a few years and come off the bench, he could play till he's 45. He might play till he's 50. But LeBron on the Mavs would be amazing. You pair him back up with Kyrie Irving. You pair him back up with KD. You pair him up with Cooper Flag coming into the... I've always said, if you got a problem guy coming to the league, if you got a guy overweight, if you got a guy you just want to learn how to play the game of basketball, put him with LeBron James. LeBron would do amazing work with Cooper Flag and turn him into an absolute demon. It would turn that team into a championship team. I think the Mavs would be favored to win a championship, but that's the potential, ladies and gentlemen. LeBron to the Mavs with an already stacked lineup. What I need y'all to do in the comments, scale of 1 to rate the Dallas Mavericks starting 5 currently without LeBron James on a scale of 1 to 10. On to the UFC. We have UFC 317 recap, and we have our matchmaking winners and losers. Let me get this pulled up over here. Our UFC 317 fight card, so we can see these winners and losers. By the way this card started off was absolutely fireworks. It was a heavyweight fight. I'm about to tell y'all the name of it right now. Oh my gosh. We have a banger this week. Is that this weekend? Hey, UFC Nashville might be a movie, ladies and gentlemen. Past events. Oh, you got to feel for Charles Oliveira, guys. You got to feel for Charles Oliveira. We start the card off, and I tell my guest at the bar, it's Janata Denise and Alvin Hines. I tell my guest at the bar, look, this is going to go one of two ways. Someone's getting knocked out, or it's going to be the most boring fight you've ever watched. I have never seen 2 heavyweights go out there and box like these grown men did for 3 rounds. What a way to start a card. Dana White should have given these gentlemen a fight of the night, a performance bonus, something, because they went as heavyweights. Going out there and boxing like that is insane. Alvin Hines cracked early, bloody on his face, everywhere. Doesn't give up. I'm talking big man, heavyweight, putting combos together and shooting takedowns in the third. Takedowns in the third. You don't see heavyweights do that often. And then we go Jacoby Smith, Nico Price. Jacoby Smith, one of the biggest odds in Vegas history in UFC fighting. Jacoby Smith goes out there, puts on an absolute clinic, gets Nico Price down, finishes him. Love to see it. It was by submission. Then we go into Terrence McKinney, one of our biggest knockout artists in the UFC. I said last week, he's either getting knocked out or he's knocking someone out. There's no in between. He goes out there, surprises me, says, you know what I got? I have a ground game. Submission. Was it an arm in triangle? I can't remember. Was it an arm in triangle? I can't remember. Y'all let me know what submission it was down in the comment. No, was it a guillotine? Did he roll over into the mounted guillotine? I can't remember. Y'all remind me how Terrence McKinney submitted. And I'm not even going to attempt to say his name because it has too many letters for me to even attempt it. Terrence McKinney, young dog in this league. Love to see it. Then we go to Vivian Araujo and Tracy Cortez. Tracy Cortez went out there, put on a clinic. We're not even going to talk about that long. Then we have Jose Miguel Delgado, 26-second knockout. W. Followed up Jack Hermanson and Gregory Rodriguez. I'm telling y'all, when Gregory Rodriguez lands a punch on your all these fights setting up for an amazing main card, by the way. Gregory going out there, landing some dynamite on the chin of Jack Hermanson, putting him to sleep. When I say to sleep, that man laid on that canvas for 5 minutes. Had us in awe in Buffalo Wild Wings. Shocked. Puzzled. Gregory, absolute dog. Then Peyton Talbot, coming off a loss, comes out here, shows you I still got some in the tank. Wins the striking battle. Decent grappling. Got out of some sticky situations. You love to see it. Let's get Peyton Talbot. You know what? We'll get the matchmaking in a minute. Felipe Lima still got some work to do. Peyton Talbot still got work to do. Comes out and wins as an underdog. Unanimous decision. We have Benel Dariush and Renato Moicano. Moicano's downfall has to be stud. I'm not saying it's bad. I think he's just in a slump. He gets thrown in against in a lightweight title fight against Islam Makhachev on 2 weeks notice. He then goes and fights Benel Dariush, who's been out since 2023, I think. So I've told y'all, I hate taking fighters on a layoff. I think the last 3 times I've not taken the fighter on a layoff, I've been cooked. I think the time off did Dariush good. I think he worked a lot on it. And Dariush has always been a good, well-rounded guy. Decent striking, amazing ground game. He goes out there and shows off his amazing ground game. I did say this fight would be a pick'em. By fight night, it was a pick'em. I picked Moicano. I picked wrong. Brandon Royval and Joshua Van. We got to get a standing ovation for this one. I mean, that one deserves a standing ovation because, Lord have mercy. I think the most significant, Joshua Van has the most significant strikes landed in a fight in UFC history. 3 rounds, by the way. Brandon Royval's number 2. If that shows you what this fight is. This fight was so impressive. This man, Dana, and y'all know Dana hate giving money out. Lord have mercy, Dana hates paying people. He said he's paying Brandon Royval his win money. His win money. He lost and he's paying him his win money, and probably, I'm sure they got a performance bonus, fight of the night bonus. Joshua Van. We already know what's next for him. Brandon Royval? Question mark. We'll get into that. On to our co-main event of the evening. We have Alexandre Pantoja taking on Kai Kara France. And everyone thought Kai Kara France had a chance in this fight. One, I'm going to let you know, I think Pantoja might be the best flyweight of all time. No disrespect to Demetrius Johnson. Love DJ. Absolutely amazing. The guys he fought, it's, you know, he has so many title defenses. It's hard to put Pantoja over him, but I think I'll say Pantoja's getting up there and has potential to be the best flyweight of all time. DJ's still up there. Pantoja goes out here and shows you why there's levels to this. Y'all thought his game planning is spectacular. Everyone, including myself, thought, they were going to go out there and box. Alexandre Pantoja said, why would I go out there and box the guy who has some of the most power in his hands in the league? I'm going to take him down and submit him. That's exactly what he did. Pantoja with B2A. Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria is an Avengers level threat, ladies and gentlemen. This man is collecting legends like he's collecting Infinity Stones for the Infinity Gauntlet. He did Volk the same way he did Charles. He did Max the same way he did Charles. And what's crazy is I think people underestimate Ilia Topuria's power because Max looked surprised when he got sparked. Charles looked surprised when he got sparked. Volk looked surprised when he got sparked. Ilia is cheating. He's not even juicing. He might not even be juicing. It's just cheating. The power he has. And what's crazy is when you watch him throw these punches, one of the best boxers in the UFC. Because when he throws his punches, you can just study his body, and it's the power all the way through his body, just his rotation, his movement, and and it's just how fluid it is, how much he's practiced it, how fluid his movement is. That shot that landed on the chin of Charles, it didn't even look, he didn't even load it up. It was just a little, and Charles was done. And Charles is chinny, but rarely do we see Charles. When's the last time we've seen Charles get flatlined? I'm talking laying up, looking on the canvas like he's looking at demons. Hurt my soul. Ilia Topuria is a problem. He's going to run through 155, and I think he'll end. We'll get him in Islam one day. I think he'll go up a weight class again. I think he just absolutely does not care, and he will chase Islam. At what point towards the end of your career, you're like, I just got to go for triple champ. Just got to go for it. Just got to shoot it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We have our UFC 317 potential matchmaking. Who is going to fight who next? Now, we did the whole main card. We're going to start from the bottom all the way to the top. We have at number 5, Peyton Talbot. Who is Peyton Talbot going to fight next? I think Adrian Yanez. I think Yanez has been out of the octagon for a little bit. I think this would be a good comeback fight for Yanez. I think this would be a good step up in competition for Peyton Talbot. Give him a dude that's good at striking. We're tired of seeing him fight wrestlers. Give him a guy that he can get in there. He's either going to show us something or he's going to get sent back down the rankings. And the loser, Felipe Lima. Still young. Still got a lot of potential. Give him Cody Garbrandt. I think Lima and Garbrandt would be a very interesting matchup. At number 4, Beneil Dariush. This one was a little interesting to do. I think Beneil Dariush versus Grant Dawson is the one you make. Now, I thought Grant Dawson had a fight coming up, allegedly. It's been canceled. I was saying Dariush. My sleeper, I think you do Dariush against Dan Hooker. I don't know if Dariush that high. I think him and Dan Hooker would be a great fight to watch. I just don't know. There's a lot going on at the top of the lightweight division right now. I'm not sure where Dan Hooker fits into all of it. There is a spot he could fit into. I just don't know if it's going to happen yet. And the loser, Moicano, falling down the rankings, probably going to be 13, 14, 15, something like that after that loss. A guy I think needs to take a step up. And I think the timing could work out. I think he's about to fight August 2nd, something like that. I think it's time Chase Hooper sees a guy with a number next to his name. And I think Moicano would be a great guy to put him against. Decent on the ground. Chase Hooper could win that. Really good striking. Chase Hooper's striking has got a lot better, I think. Who did I say? Renato Moicano, Chase Hooper. Book it. At number 3, We have, obviously, Van versus Pantoja. They've already confirmed that. Brandon Royval was saying after a win he was going to move up a weight class. I think that is going to be put on hold. I think he's still at the top of the division. I think you make Brandon Royval and the winner of Steve Airseg and Alex Perez. I think you make the winner of that. I think that's a good matchup. You win that one, then you can move up. I just think he doesn't have interest in the weight cut anymore. I think you have a lot more leverage moving up a weight class, coming off a win, than you do off a loss. At number 2, again, Pantoja versus Van. What's next for Kai Kara France? I think you give him Manel Cape. I think Cape was supposed to fight here soon. I think he would wait to fight Kai Kara. That would be a banger. Kai Kara France, Manel Cape. A lot on the line for Kai Kara France. You win that, you're still up there with another potential title shot. You're going to have to get another win after that one, just because the way you got submitted. You're going to have to show something. I think that would keep him at the top of the rankings. I think it would propel Manel. I think it would give him a solid spot in an argument that he should be at next for a title shot after Kai Kara, after Pantoja and Van. And at number 1, Ilia and Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira, I think this is a layup. I think around December, we know he's going to be on a 6-month suspension. Put him back around what's July? Put him around December, January. I think we'll fight, win or lose of this fight, Max Holloway. If Max Holloway loses, I think we see him against Charles Oliveira. If he wins, I think we see him against Charles Oliveira. There's not bad blood there. I think both these guys are very respectful of the game. There is history there. Max Holloway has beat Charles Oliveira before. Little question mark. Charles was hurt going in the fight, could barely move. So I think you have them run it back. 155, going to be an absolute movie. And then the winner, still up there for contention. Maybe get back there one day. Maybe won't. Put the BMF belt on the line. Maybe Charles' last chance at holding gold ever again. We would love to see it. Max Holloway's potential to defend gold one more time. You never know when the end is, ladies and gentlemen. And Ilia Topuria, a lot on the line. Not a lot on the line. A lot of potential matchups, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking, Patty the Baddie Pimlet getting in the octagon. One thing Dana White said he didn't like that. He was eating it up, ladies and gentlemen. He was eating it up. He doesn't want that fight, though. I think, here's my potential rundown. I think you have Ilia and Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje crying after beating Fiziev, who has been out of the octagon for 2 years now. Crying, saying he's going to retire if he doesn't get a title shot. Okay, buddy. Can we beat someone? You got knocked out. Here's what's scary. You got flatlined by Max Holloway. I'd be nervous. After what I just saw Ilia did, I would be nervous. But I do think Justin Gaethje has some of the best potential in the division to go out there and win this fight just because he's got the power in his hands. There's a lot of potential there. Maybe he could spark Ilia before Ilia sparked him. I think you make Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje. I think you make Patty Pimlet, Arman Saryukin for a title contender shot. Winner of that will fight Ilia. I think you could do Ilia Gaethje in October or November. And I think you do Patty and Arman on the same card. And the winner of that will fight March in Spain. Ooh, March in Spain. I think that'll be a Spain fight right there. I think they're going to figure out how to get it in Spain. I think we're going to see Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje, then the winner of Arman Saryukin, and Patty the Baddie Pimlet. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our slate of topics this week. I appreciate each and every one of you for listening. What I need you to do down in the comments, comment your favorite team, comment your favorite UFC fighter, and comment your favorite segment of today. We will be back, as always, next Monday with a whole new slate. I hope y'all have an absolute amazing week. Go out there and put in that work, ladies and gentlemen. Until next Monday, I love each and every one of you, and we will see you then.